In today's trip report, we're flying business class on British Airways for the first time from London Heathrow to Oslo in Norway. How does the British legacy carrier compare to the other European airlines? Stick around and find out. Welcome to London Heathrow Airport. We've just arrived from another flight and are now heading to Terminal 3. This is where British Airways operates its flight to Oslo from. As mentioned, we'll be flying business class on British Airways for the first time and are not really sure what to expect. British Airways has received a lot of criticism, especially during the last year. British Airways is one of the biggest airlines in Europe and operates over 500 daily flights. The airline is owned by International Airlines Group, which also owns airlines such as Iberia, Aer Lingus and Vueling. British Airways is now a global airline with more than 180 destinations across 6 continents. And did you know that in addition to being one of only 2 airlines to operate the Concorde, British Airways was actually the first airline to introduce full flat beds in business class in 1999. Pretty cool, right? Now it's time to discover one of the business class perks, the lounge. The first impression is that it feels a bit claustrophobic. You do have a decent amount of seating, but during peak hours I can imagine that it would be difficult to find availability. The absolute highlight with this lounge was without doubt the food, and we were lucky enough to observe both servings, breakfast and dinner. So first let's have a look at the breakfast selection. A great variety is offered, whether you prefer hot, typical English breakfast or pastry, yogurt and fruits.
Good. 10 minutes. Thank you.
After a short while, the clock turned noon and dinner was served. Here the selection is quite impressive with a huge variety of all sorts of dishes. Now, what is your favorite lounge? Please share in the comment section. Quite impressed by the food service. Another feature that stands out at this lounge is the drink selection. You have a great variety of all sorts of drinks and a bar. But all in all, I would say that personally I prefer the lounges of Iberia in Madrid or Air France in Paris. They both have a great food selection just like here, but they are more spacious and feel less cramped. But still, it's very nice to have a place to relax while waiting for your flight. And for this one we paid $200. The ticket includes, as you see, access to the lounge, priority check-in, fast track in security, priority boarding, as well as a meal on board. And now it's already time to head to the gate. And as a person that really don't like waiting in line, it's great to be able to board in group 1. The airplane that's taking us to Oslo is a 24-year-old Airbus A319. The business class comes in a 2-2 configuration with the middle seat blocked, as is standard on European business class. The seat in itself looks quite cool, featuring an adjustable headrest, a bit better space in between rows, and what I like with British Airways European business class is that you have a table between the seat. In addition to this, each seat comes with a power outlet so you can charge your devices. In business class you get free Wi-Fi for messaging. For streaming it costs from around $5. I know many of you are not fan of the European business class, but I still feel that for the right price it's still worth doing. In Europe, for instance, many airlines offer upgrades during check-in that are quite cheap actually, so always remember to check in online. For those traveling on economy class, food and drinks are available for purchase. It's quite pricey, so I'm glad that we're getting the food for free today.
First officer on today's flight, joining on the flight 8, Captain David Curry. About ready to go here at the front. Thank you very much for your onboarding. Just waiting on the ground crew to load the final bags into the rear hold and we'll be on our way. Once we do get going on our way, it's an hour and 36 flight time. Cruising at 37,000 feet, expecting smooth conditions, taking off here off the westerly runway, making a right turn after departure. Climbs us up over the city before we coast out over the North Sea and climbing up to cruising altitude. Expecting smooth conditions today.
Cabin crew, place doors into automatic and cross-check.
London Heathrow is one of the airports in Europe with the most delays. With only 2 runways and 1,300 takeoffs and landings per day, this is not a surprise. There are, however, plans to build a 3rd runway, but this would take up to 10 years, given that it means demolishing hundreds of homes, diverting rivers and rerouting some of the biggest motorways around London. So it's a complicated process. Now let's enjoy some great views and the takeoff towards Oslo. If you enjoy my content, I would be really grateful if you consider subscribing. All my flights are self-funded, so every subscription helps me make more trip reports. Today's flight, we're taking off towards the west, making a right turn, flying across the North Sea and arriving at Oslo Airport in about 1 hour and 35 minutes. British Airways operates 3 daily flights between London Heathrow and Oslo. Together with Scandinavian Airlines' 5 daily flights, this route is very popular for the Norwegians.
Imagine their food could fall out, causing injury. As a reminder, smoking, including the use of e-cigarettes or any other vaping devices, is not permitted at any time whilst on the snow. Thank you.
The food service starts with a selection of drinks. On today's flight, we were offered 3 options: fish, meat and vegetarian. I went for the fish, which was smoked trout with a salad, some fresh bread and a dessert. I also got to try the vegetarian option, which was a pie of mushrooms. The food was really tasty and I really enjoyed that you got 3 options. The toilet is a regular toilet and it's nothing special about it.
Cabin crew, thank you very much. 10 minutes to landing, 10 minutes.
So, as we're about to land, some information about Oslo and Norway. Norway has a small population of only 5 million inhabitants. The country though is quite thin but very long. If you turn it around, Norway would actually reach Italy. Best time to visit Oslo and Norway is without doubt from May till September, when you have sunshine and nice weather. During winter, the days are short and weather can be quite challenging. Welcome to Oslo Airport. Now let's share my thoughts on British Airways Business Class products. All in all, it's been a good experience. The best one has without doubt been the food on board and the food at the lounge. The lounge in itself is not one of my favorite, as it feels quite claustrophobic. Another drawback with flying British Airways is that you have to connect through London Heathrow. When changing flights, you have to go through security control and often change terminals. All in all, it feels like quite the chaotic airport. But British Airways product in itself is quite good compared to other European airlines, and for the right price I would fly them again. Now thanks so much for watching, and if you like my content, I hope you consider subscribing so you can help me make more trip reports like this one. See you next time.